Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing down below. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. First off, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I am so ready for fall, especially by my look today. Like, I'm ready for fall. This new brush collection that I really don't know how to say her name. I'm so sorry. I will try, but if I butcher it, I really apologize. Nazanin, Kavari, I hope that that's correct. But her new brush set with BH Cosmetics is absolutely beautiful, and it's so classy and it is so aesthetically pleasing. This brush set retails for $27. It comes with 9 face and eye brushes and this cute bag. This is such a pretty bag. This is a nice size makeup bag. It has a really nice and sturdy zipper, but when you open it, there's this gorgeous pop of green that I was not expecting when I opened up this brush set. So I thought that was such a nice touch. Everything is all black and shiny, and then all of a sudden you get this gorgeous pop of green inside the makeup bag, which it's the little things, guys. It's the little things. I used 8 out of 9 brushes to complete this look today. I also had to dip into some of my other brushes because there are technically only 3 eye brushes. So for me, I just needed a little bit more brushes to complete this extravagant look. Go ahead and start off with brush number 2, which is the foundation brush. This foundation brush is not my favorite brush in this brush set, and let me tell you why. When I put on my foundation, if I do choose to use a brush that day, it has to be a very dense brush. This brush is just a little bit too soft in my opinion. I think this brush is really great for if you use a beauty blender to blend out your foundation and then you want to smooth it out even more with this kind of brush, because that's what this brush feels like. I think this is just a nice buffer kind of brush. By the way, I'm going in the order of how I use these brushes and how I did my makeup today. So I went in with number 4, which is the setting under the eye kind of brush. I love fluffy brushes like this that are like rounded at the top, and it really sets the powder under my eyes very nicely. This brush is so, I don't want to say flimsy, like the head of the brush, but wherever you place it, it adapts to that curve on your face. I love brushes like that. It's really fluffy. All these brushes are really like fluffy. I love BH Cosmetic brushes, spoiler alert. I also used it to set like around my mouth, my forehead. It's really nice. It's the perfect size. So brush number 1, this is the heaviest brush in this brush collection. This is the powder brush, which I expect it to be. There are so many brush hairs in this brush. This is the perfect size powder brush. There are powder brushes that are extremely too big, and I'm like, I know I want to set my whole face, but I want to only set a certain area at a time. So this is the perfect size powder brush in my opinion. I use this brush to clean up my bronzer and blush. I also use this to set my bronzer. For example, I only wanted to set my bronzer at the time. If I had a bigger powder brush, I would have set basically my whole forehead. That's how big they are. This is just the perfect size for whatever you're doing in that moment. And brush number 3. One thing I've noticed with BH Cosmetics is in their brush sets, brush number 3 is always a blush brush. That's how I'm able to memorize the numbers. This brush is fairly odd. It's like fairly oddly shaped for a blush. This brush is intended for blush, but I did not like the way that it applied my blush. I prefer this brush as a bronzer slash contour kind of brush because it's skinny and it's shaped so weirdly, guys. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Part of me feels like whenever brush sets come in though, like each individual brush is individually wrapped and it sits in that wrapper for so long, it starts to take the form of like being smushed. So I wasn't sure if this brush is like that because of that, but I love this brush for contour. This brush fits perfectly in my cheek sockets, cheekbone, whatever you want to call it, and I also use this for bronzer, and it's the perfect size. I love this brush for that. I don't think I'm going to be using this brush for blush, but that's just me, a personal preference. Everyone has a different type of brush that they use for their blush. I've noticed that, like, It's crazy. Like, some people use stipple brushes, some people use these kind of brushes, or like just a rounded brush for blush, which is the kind of brushes I like to use because I need to cover more surface area with my cheek. Last face brush is a highlighter brush. This is brush number 5. This is basically a typical highlighter brush. I loved it. Sometimes there are days when I'm not very good at putting on highlighter. I can admit that. I've been on the search for the perfect highlighter brush, and this brush made putting on my highlighter so easy. I was just very impressed with this. I didn't use the tip of the brush to apply my highlighter, as you can see from the demo. I used the side of the brush, and it just really went on nicely. Like, it fit perfectly. Now we're moving into the 3 eye brushes, and the choice of eye brushes were very unique. So let's start off with the blending brush. So this blending brush is another one of those moments where I thought it took the shape of the plastic wrapping it was in, because it is flat. Like, it's hard to explain. In a way, it looks like the shape of a smaller kind of highlighter brush. Okay, so here is the blending brush right here, right? So this is it straight on, but if you turn it to the side, it's kind of flat. Like, it's not circled and fluffy all the way around. This is a brush strictly for the crease. This is strictly for just blending in your crease and in your crease only. That's the way I found that brush to work, and it works great just like that. So I didn't try to force this brush to do something that it couldn't. I just think this is a great crease brush. So number 8 is the smudger brush. I love really, really densely packed smudger brushes. This was perfect for putting shadow on the lower lash line. I love this brush. A girl always needs more smudger brushes. This is the number 7 brush, and this is the most important brush that I use today. This is the brush that I use to cut my crease. This brush is absolutely amazing for cutting the crease. This is one of my new favorite crease cutting brushes. This is literally my favorite brush in this brush collection. And then lastly, we have brush number 9. This one is a very unique type of brush. I didn't use this brush today, but I can think of a way that I would use this brush. I think that this brush set is amazing, from the packaging of the brush to the bag to the brush heads. I think that this is just such a nice full face brush set. This brush set feels luxurious, feels heavy, nothing feels cheap, everything is gorgeous. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You are already here. You already clicked on the video. And if you made it this far, thank you. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.